and welcome to Lily's Library. So I'm starting a very early reading vlog this time. It is currently a Sunday, so I think I will try and do stuff throughout the week and film more throughout the week and then do the big stint of it over the weekend. But there is a reason I'm starting this a lot earlier than I typically would, and that is because I am 200 pages away from finishing The Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong, and I really wanted to document it a bit more so I can have it to look back on, and also so I can like talk about my thoughts and feelings in the moment, because this book has already been so wild and beautiful and heartbreaking, and I am so interested to see where this book goes. I know it's just going to be an incredible 5-star read. But TBR for this week, I will obviously be working on The Sword of Kaigen. I should hopefully be able to finish it pretty soon. I'm going to try and get up to 500 pages today, and then I want to maybe start another book. We'll see how we go and how I'm feeling, because I'm very tired after staying up super late reading this last night. So we'll see how we go. But as for the other books on my TBR, we've got quite a few I would like to try and pick up and finish or read more of this week and before the end of the month. So I have 3 other books I would like to work on. The first one we've got is Hemorrhaging Luck. This is by Makana Yamamoto. This is our book club book for this month with a bunch of my mutuals and Aussie friends on TikTok. This is like the first one in a while where a majority of us have read the book or are actually reading the book, because we usually do a theme and we always just struggle about it because we're all mood readers, but the Discord's really just an excuse for us to talk. But I would like to start this. It is short. It's just over 350 pages, but apparently there's pacing things that a lot of the people in our Discord don't really vibe with or are struggling with. So I am a bit worried because of that, but I'm still excited and want to give this a go. I think I can still push through just because it is short, but we'll see how we go. This is one I would like to try and start tonight, or at the very least I'm going to take it with me to work tomorrow and try and read it tomorrow, maybe a bit before work as well. But all I know about this is that it is a sci-fi heist, and that it's chaotic and queer, I guess, and it's kind of like starting with the whole rounding up the gang, getting the gang back together thing, which I don't usually like that much. It depends on how it's done. Again, pacing's usually my issue with those kinds of things in books, so we'll see how we go. But I would like to start and finish this week. I'd also like to start and finish Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. Again, I don't really know much about this. This is a sapphic cannibalism novella. It is horror as well, if you can guess. It's pretty short. I'm going to be doing a buddy read of this with one of my friends from TikTok, so I will see how I go with that. I've seen quite a few people really enjoy this and like rate it very high, so I'm excited for it. And I know it's something short, so if I am struggling with Hemorrhaging Luck and I finish The Sword of Kaigen, I think this is what I'm going to be picking up after that or during that. And finally, we've got Pride and Prejudice. I would like to read more of this. I have spoken a bit on this channel already, but I have goals to read a classic a quarter, and this is one I would like to get to soon, because I have some classics I would really like to try and read in February, at least one, since February is my birthday month. So I want to read like some books that I really think I will love, but I would definitely like to read more of this. I don't know if I'll be able to finish it, but I do really want to try and get to more of it, but we're just so close to the end of the month, so we'll see how I go. So it's the middle of the week now, and I have finished Sword of Kaigen by M.L. Wong, and I actually finished this on Sunday night, but I've kind of needed a bit to collect my thoughts and feelings. I will link my full Storygraph review down below and probably talk more in depth about this in my end of month wrap up. But I have a lot of thoughts and feelings. There were so many emotions I experienced and felt during this book. I was sobbing for like a good 100 pages. It was a lot. I really, really enjoyed this. It was incredible. Unfortunately, it fell just short of 5 stars for me. Just the ending felt very underwhelming. Like, there was a lot of elements I did like, but it felt like this was setting up for a second book, which there will at this stage never be. That could change if this does get trad published, but it just felt very incomplete, and we were bringing up all of these points that weren't completely explained or not like finalized in a way that a standalone would be and typically would be. It felt like we were bringing up points, setting up for another book that's never going to come, and we just never got those answers, and kind of left me feeling very underwhelmed and just not satisfied in it. There was some parts later that I did really like, and I did like some of the stuff happening with one of the characters, but it just kind of made me feel a bit underwhelmed by the end of it. That being said, this has got some incredible fight scenes, some scenes that I will be thinking about forever. It feels like a movie, especially when I was listening to like the reading playlists that are on Spotify for this book. It was just such a well-crafted fight scene, or so many well-crafted fight scenes in this. There's one in particular with Misaki that is just incredible and one of the best scenes I've ever read, and it was insane, just jaw-droppingly insane, and just so incredibly cool. But after I finished that, I picked up 2 other books. I think I should be able to finish them this week. We'll have to see. I'm just struggling a bit with one of them, but I also haven't really given it a fair chance yet. But I'm slowly reading Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. This is that like sapphic cannibalism novella. I'm not very far through. I think I'm about 80 pages in, and I am enjoying this. The writing is so lush and beautiful, and I'm really enjoying that. I am taking this a bit slower just because I have to pause and look up words, because there is some words I don't know that are being used in this. We've also got like Shakespearean elements and references in it, which I really appreciate, but I can tell this is something I'm going to really enjoy, so I would definitely like to get to more of this soon. But I've also picked up Hammerjing Luck. This is by Makana Yamamoto. I haven't read much of this at all. I am 49 pages in, so I haven't even technically hit the 50-page mark. It is just not really any thoughts or feelings. We're obviously still setting it up, but there's still a lot to go through. We're kind of in the very, very early stages. We've only been introduced to 3 people out of this, like, gang or group of 8, I believe. So there's still a long way to go. I believe people compare the main character in this book to Gideon from Gideon the Ninth, and there's really no similarity between them at this stage. Maybe that'll change later on, but the only thing that they've both got going is that they're both buff. And I believe our main character in this is non-binary. We've got a lot of trans and queer characters, which I do really appreciate, and I'm excited to see where this goes. But I just don't really have a lot of feelings at the moment, and the other people in the book club that I'm reading this with have had mixed feelings as well, and think it's just a bit underdeveloped in some ways, or needs to be freshened up a little bit in the editing process, and that it's just quite a slow process getting into it. But I don't know, we'll see, because I've heard really good things about it, and it's a really fun world, and I'm excited to see how this heist goes. So I'm thinking once we've got the gang together and we're into planning the heist and actually completing the heist, that it'll pick up a lot more. Okay, so it's finally the weekend now, and I have finished Bloom by Delilah S. Dawson. This was a beautiful but horrifying read. I think for the final, like, 50 pages, or like the final, like, tiny bit of the book, my jaw was just on the floor because this was wild. But this was horrifying. Like, I obviously knew where this would go. It's obviously marketed as a sapphic cannibalism book, and it's very much inspired by Hannibal, which is a show I haven't seen but have wanted to watch. It also kind of gave me Killing Stalking vibes in a way, just with some of the things that happen, especially at the end. But this was wild. Everything that happened was not what I expected at all, and I just really enjoyed this. I am super interested to check out more by Delilah S. Dawson because I really loved her writing. It is very lush and just, I love it so much. There's lots of Shakespearean references in this as well, and like other literary references that I also enjoyed. I'm still reading Hemorrhaging Luck as well. I am on chapter 13, which is like 200 pages in, and it is just so slow. Like, I am enjoying it, but I'm just a bit bored. I feel like heist books are very difficult at times because what is done in 100 pages of a heist book is done in like 3 minutes of a movie. So it's just very hard with the pacing of them, and I am intrigued to see where this goes, and I do really enjoy some of the characters, so I'd like to see where everything leads to, but I'm just struggling just because it is so slow, and like I'm over halfway through it now, or barely over halfway through it now, and we're still not into the proper heist. It's still setting up for everything. So I just need some action in it and something to start happening, but I would like to finish this today if I can. But I've also got some other books I wanted to talk about. So I went to some bookshops and the library today. So the book I got from the library is Shane Lend. This is the prequel to Alatsaway. This is by Darcy Littlebadger. I read Alatsaway early last year, and I really enjoyed it, and I've been waiting for my library to get a copy of this because these books are just really hard to track down here. So the library is the easiest way, and also obviously it's free. I also had some other holds come in at the library at the beginning of the week, and those were The Girl Who Fell Beneath the Sea by Axio. I don't actually remember what this is. I know it's a romance. I don't know if it's YA. No, it says it's fantasy and horror, but the library shelf thing's weird. But this was a book that was recommended by Messi, I believe, on my 12 books in 12 months from 12 friends challenge. So I'm going to be trying to get to this soon. It's also pretty short. And this is a book that I've been wanting to read for ages, and I love the cover. And then I also got my hold for The Shadow of the Gods by John Gwynne. I've actually already read this. I did an audio read 2 years ago now, but I remember like literally nothing. So I'm excited to pick this up and read it and actually go through everything. But this was a book club or like buddy read that Gina's doing soon, which is starting in a few days. So I have this ready for that. Hopefully I can finish it before I need to return it. So I've been really feeling like reading some cozy fiction again, like translated fiction and stuff, and ones that make me feel the way like Before the Coffee Gets Cold made me feel. So I found The Healing Season of Pottery. This is by Yon Somin, and it's translated by Claire Richards. This sounded really interesting. It follows a woman who was working as a news writer for ages, and she quits her job because she's feeling burnt out and goes into hibernation for a few months, is what it says. And one day she stumbles across this like pottery class workshop store, and is kind of like realizing the more that she crafts stuff and uses her hands, the quieter and calmer her mind becomes. And it's about like finding her passions in life again, and it just sounds really sweet, and I thought it would be really good to read, and the cover is really beautiful as well. Now, the book I was actually looking everywhere for was Watermoon. This is by Samantha Soto Yambao. I have heard such good things about this. This is meant to be a very Studio Ghibli-esque book. Again, kind of like more cozy vibes. It's following a girl whose father owns a pawn shop in the back streets of Tokyo, but it's kind of like one of those magical ones. So it actually appears like a little ramen restaurant or something, I believe, to people. But for the right people and the select few, it is a pawn shop where they can trade and sell off and get rid of regrets and different memories and experiences that they don't want to keep a hold of, and it's like in exchange for like an item that they carry around with them. And our main character, her dad goes missing, and she ends up getting this guy, I don't know where he comes from, to help track her father down, and it's about their romance and their relationship and just this little magical area, and it sounds so fun and so cute, and I'm very excited for it. it is a lot later in the day now. I ended up finishing Havaging Luck while I was playing Minecraft. I thought this was okay. I think it should have been a lot shorter and punchier. It had a really interesting concept, premise, world, and characters, but I think the execution just wasn't there. The setting in the world reminded me a lot of Arcane and Piltover, I think that's what the city was called. How we've got the wealthy up top and in the sunlight and everything, or sunlight equivalent in this, and the poorer and lower class are further down and darker and have a lot worse living conditions. So it's very reminiscent of that. It's also full of queer characters. Like, I think there's only like there's a very few straight characters in this at the very least. And it's just, yeah, I think this should have been a lot shorter and punchier because the pacing is very, very slow. Like, the heist didn't actually happen until well into like the almost 300 page mark, I think, or late 200 something pages. And it was very quick too. I just think this should have been re-edited a bit and reworked. It's not bad for a debut, but I think it was just too long to make it work. Like, heists are just hard in general, like, to do in a book. They're really difficult to nail. But I would be very interested in reading more of Makana's work. I really did enjoy their world and their writing, and I'd like to see it in something else and see what the next thing is like. So I'm intrigued to see what else happens. I'm glad I did read this because it was fun. It had some funny elements to it, but I think it just definitely needed a bit more work done on it. I think it should have been shorter. But I haven't actually done too much else reading this afternoon. I've read a chapter of Watermoon. I actually ended up filming a video that should already be up by now, and filming and editing that, which took me forever. We also had to go to the grocery store and I forgot to film. But I'm going to read some more Watermoon before we need to cook some dinner, and then we're going to this drone show and night markets tonight. So probably going to be leaving for that in about an hour-ish because the drone show's not till 9, but the market started at 5. So probably going to try and leave after 7-ish. We'll see. I'd like to read more of this and get past 100 pages. I should be able to do that pretty soon. Just depends when we actually start cooking dinner. But I am really enjoying this. It's very whimsical, the writing is beautiful, and I think it's just going to be a nice little sweet read. So I think that's it now. I hope the videos from the little drone show turned out okay. It was kind of difficult to film just because there were so many people in front of us and it was kind of far away, but it was actually really cool. We got some pizza as well, which was nice, and then some crepes, which were okay, but I'm feeling a bit sick now, so I don't know if it was that or the lemonade. But anyways, it was still a decent night. But I am gonna go and read some more of Watermoon tonight and try and get through more of it. I just got up to part 2. I just want to take my time with this because I am really enjoying it and it's cute, and I don't really need to rush through it to get it done. So yeah, I'm just gonna take my time with it. I'm just really enjoying it, and I can't get over this cover. It is just so pretty. I love it so much. But that is it. I hope you enjoyed this video. I will see you next time with another one, and make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you all next time. Bye.